Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh,
So if you...
hang on.
ね。こんにちは、ギント。
クリスト。
うちです。
でですね、僕たち今、大阪のロイヤルパークホテルアイコニックというね、ホテルに、3人でね、泊まりに来てるんですけれども、リッチさんにもちょっと一つ内緒でこのホテルを取ったんですよね。
Right.
でその一つの理由が、ラウンジがついてるんですけど、そのラウンジで軽食食べ放題、あとお酒もビールとか飲み放題なんですよね。でもアメリカって飲み放題厳しいやろ。だからちょっとそういうところでもちょっとリッチさんにサプライズしようかなと思って来るんですけど、
Okay.
じゃあちょっと伝えてもらっていいですか？
So, Rich, I wanted to bring you to this hotel
That's
because
what
of
I've been
the
wondering.
executive lounge that they have here, right?
Okay.
Now, in the United States, especially in like Massachusetts, what's the deal with all-you-can-drink situations?
That is not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah, we used to have happy hour, which was after work, usually around 5 to 7, but they don't do that anymore. That became
You don't even
against
have
the law.
happy hour?
We don't, not in Massachusetts.
Wow.
厳しい。
We have it. It's in New York, and it may be in some other places.
Oh, okay.
Not where I live, though.
Okay, so you're in a situation where it's not a dry state.
It's not a dry state, but you need to stock up on alcohol while you can. Because it's limited when you can get it.
Okay, so here's the big surprise that I have for you. This lounge, not only with having a sort of nice room,
Yes.
it has the lounge which has all you can drink, beer, spirits, wine that you don't have to pay for at all. It's in your bill.
This would make a lot of Americans really happy.
I'm hoping at least it makes 2 Americans really
That is
happy.
for tonight. I think also we need a strategy to make sure that we get to the end.
So, right, to make sure that it stays a happy hour, not a sad hour or whatever.
Or if not an unconscious hour.
大人気のレッチさんにも質問をちょっとね、これ YouTube で募集とかもしてるので、質問コーナーちょっと軽くしたりしながら、ちょっとお酒飲みましょう。じゃあレッツゴー。
Let's go.
Let's go.
Kanpai. Mosugo.
Oh, our time should be just perfect because it's
4:59 and all you can drink starts
at 5. Wait, walk slower.
Make walking sounds, sound effects.
There we go.
We can really go. Keep going.
Yeah. So we're gonna hang out. So this is sparkling wine.
Red sparkling, red sparkling.
And then over here, you have your selection of beer. Then here, you have your selection of spirits
That's later time.
and wine.
Way back home. I'm in love
Pull
with
it.
mine. Why don't we go there and have some more wine? 'Cause life is for living. Let's see what's on.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
It's for living. Let's see.
Okay, we're gonna jump right into. You can just have drink and eat while we're doing it, but we're gonna go straight into Shin Corner, the question corner.
聞きます。まず一つ目の質問が、日本のどんなところが好きですか？
Well, the food, I have to mention immediately, and of course, Chris and Gin have been showing me just the best of the gourmet food and also just the local food, and it's all been amazing. And there was just one place that I just walked into on my own, and that was amazing as well.
Well, you got really.
I don't, well, did I get lucky? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that it's hard to get unlucky.
Yeah, true.
I have been in some really lovely hotels with really amazing service. I have loved getting around. I rode the bullet train. That was a really great experience. So fast, efficient, smooth, comfortable. And I mean, people have been very nice to me and patient with me. I tried to learn a little bit of Japanese, and I have done my best with that, and people are just really patient and sympathetic and helpful in communicating. So it's been a great experience overall. I'm having an amazing time.
何個かいろんな質問を全部答えてくれてるような感じもするよね。他にもあった。じゃあ
Wait. That's not what I would have going. But we talk better with beer.
My favorite cheers is a beer.
One more cheers. はい。
It is better with beer.
The cheers,
Yeah,
right?
the cheers is better.
So you've been in Japan for like 3 days or so.
Yeah.
Is there anything that really surprised you?
I don't know if this should have been surprising because I've been to many cities in America where you could say this about, but just how different some of the neighborhoods were that you have taken me to, from like the place where the hotel is or where the train station is to some of the restaurants you have taken, some of the rides on the subway, one of which was above ground, and just everything you could see, and then the neighborhood near the university where we walked around.
Completely different.
It was completely different, and I just loved the feel of that neighborhood in particular.
Oh, yeah.
But you can just tell that there's so much to see. You could have a whole trip in one neighborhood and find a bunch of amazing stuff and not even scratch the surface of everything. The different architecture, the buildings that are obviously from an older period, all of the gleaming new high-rise buildings as well.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of cities have that, but it seemed to have an extra level of charm and interest to it here.
では次の質問です。いつも楽しく見ています。リッチさんへの質問は、一つだけ持って帰れる、手に入るなら日本の何を持っていきたいですか？食べ物でもカルチャーでもいいです。できたら理由も教えてほしいです。
Well, that's a tough one. So if you...
Hang on. I mean, I would take as much food as customs would let me take, but this might sound corny, I would take the joy of the experiences that we've been having, including the karaoke, the things, seeing the enjoyment of Sue here as well, and Noah, and getting to see where you guys live and what your lives are like, which I only ever heard about before. And I am going to take those things back.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You get to take those memories.
Yeah, I will have these memories and this great feeling for a long time. So I don't know if that answered the question, but...
All right, well, since you said food, I'll ask that. If you were to bring just one item of food, one thing that you've had so far, what would be the one thing you'd take back?
I would take back as much Wagyu beef as the plane can carry.
Just a cargo plane of Wagyu beef.
Yeah, I might try to rent like a FedEx plane.
では次です。日本のイメージを知りたいです。来る前と来た後でのイメージの違いとか、日本の食べ物でも自分の国、アメリカで食べるのと日本で食べる差がありますかと。
I wouldn't say it's completely different. I would say that it is more. I would say that the descriptions that I have had of the food, and Japanese food is popular in America, and Japanese culture is popular in America. But when you get here, America is not doing a great job. I mean, a lot of it is wonderful in America, and I've really enjoyed it. But once you get here, you just realize that you have to come here to truly experience it. First of all, the quality of the food and the ingredients is just better. Just the quality of the service and just the surroundings. And even just like the sunlight seems different somehow. You know what I mean? Like you can't. The noises of the city, the bird sounds that I'm hearing, like in the supermarket. I mean, it's little details, and they all add up to feeling like you're definitely someplace that's very different from America, but also feels really welcoming and familiar at the same time.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's awesome.
日本に来て食べたもので何が一番美味しかったですか？
Favorite food so far? Now this is an impossible question because of the restaurants that you have taken me to.
When I'm asked this question,
Yeah.
I often go with what surprised me the most. because it's so impossible to decide what was the best tasting all of them. But sometimes there's a food that you try that you weren't expecting to be as good, if that makes it easier.
Okay, yeah, that gives me something. So the Japanese style barbecue that we did, I would not say I was surprised by how delicious that meat was. What surprised me was some of the, I guess, condiments, if that word is going to make sense. Some of the fresh grated wasabi that was grated at the table.
You've never had that before.
I have
right?
never had fresh grated wasabi, and in fact, a lot of what we call wasabi in America, I think, isn't authentic.
Isn't real, yeah.
Yeah, it's those little details that took something that was amazing on its own with just a tiny bit of salt, and then add this other level of complexity. And for me, newness. So if you're talking about surprise, that is a meal that I will never forget. And I've only had a few of those in my life.
Right.
And I'm old.
Yes.
では次の質問です、場所だけじゃなくてカルチャーも含めて日本のどういうところが好きかベスト5を教えてほしいって。
Oh, that's tough because it's only been here a couple of days.
All right, more beer. One actually great experience was before we met up with you guys, where we had first landed, and Sue and I just wandered around our neighborhood near the hotel and saw all the restaurants that were open and all the people who looked like they were having fun and eating and drinking. And we just went into one of them. They were very accommodating. We had absolutely no idea it was not a place with an English menu. And they set us up, and we had a lovely meal after a very long flight, completely exhausted, and it just relaxed us and made us feel welcome. So that was a great experience.
So one is going into a random restaurant by yourselves with no experience, no Japanese, having a great experience, and especially right after that long flight.
Yes, exactly. That our first experience in Japan was amazing like that.
Okay.
It was hospitality and food were the themes of it. And then this is of a very different kind. I love the shower room.
アメリカの方はなんかでかそうなイメージあるけど。
No, the shower, you have the whole room.
The whole room.
It's just the shower. Like
not
in
making
America,
a mess.
you have the bath,
Yeah.
and then the toilet is, they're together, but the shower and bath by itself is really exciting for people to come over.
In America, you always think you have to close this
The curtain,
and it's all
and the water
very,
will spread,
yeah.
sometimes get on the floor.
You don't want the water on the floor.
And here, it just...
There's a drain. It's designed for it. It's a great design element, I guess.
Exactly.
面白い。聞いてみたら面白いなこういうのって。
Number 3.
I'm gonna say was the secret barbecue restaurant. Secret restaurant is not quite the right word for it. Just the way they took care of us, along with the food, the way Gin poured the beers from the tap. He really took care of us too. And that was, I felt like an experience unlike any I had ever had. And it also felt like something that I knew you wanted to show us.
Yeah, well, when the first time I went, I was like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. I can't get this anywhere else.
Yeah, that was very much how that felt.
4.
I am gonna say seeing your house in your neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So getting to see how people actually live.
To see how people actually live, exactly, and to see how my friends live, because you have visited me in America
many times, obviously.
Yes, exactly. And I guess these days you see pictures and in video, from everywhere. There's nothing like being there, and I'm gonna clarify that a little bit more to the supermarket.
Yeah,
I really liked walking around the supermarket.
The last on our list of the 5.
Our last night that was in the sort of more informal pub, the food there wasn't also as good as any food I ever had anywhere.
Right, you expect just kind of like pub food or whatever.
There's a real different,
real restaurant feel. Yeah.
In America, we'd say pub grub to describe pub food, and you might get a burger and French fries, and it's good in its way. But this just felt like you're having some 5-star meal.
Yeah, which is always difficult for me because I have trouble describing izakaya. Because the best I can come up with is Japanese pub, but like you said, pub food is not like real restaurant food in our heads.
Yeah.
So I can't give it its due justice. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of things that maybe it's not that easy to directly translate. And then we followed that with karaoke, which was just fun. I mean, everybody just cutting loose, singing their songs badly,
right?
But in a great way,
right?
Everybody just had so much fun.
I was worried that you wouldn't enjoy karaoke, so I was really.
Well, I'm not much of a singer,
but it doesn't matter. That's the great thing about karaoke.
And yes, I really felt that when I was there.
超盛り上がったね、夜中までな。じゃあ次行きます。多分日本にはいい印象を持ってくれてそうなので、ネガティブな意見、だから日本に来て困ったことはありますかと。
The only thing I haven't liked about it is the flight is too long. That's like, I want to come back. I want to say I'm coming back next year, and that's the only thing that would give me pause. They turn out the lights so you sleep, but I can't sleep. But you know what? It's worth it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So you
do it because it's worth it.
よし、次です。これあるかな。リッチさん。日本の好きなお酒は何ですか？メーカー知りたいです。あと好きなおつまみもあったら教えてくださいと。
So I've mostly had beer since I got here, and I really like a drier, lighter style of beer, like a pilsner or a lager style of beer, and that seems to be the style of beer here. So I
came
love
to the right place.
Yeah, I just love the major brands here, like drinking Kirin right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Sapporo in America, and I drink that when I'm there. And what's the other
Asahi.
one? Yeah, Asahi. And there's a fourth one that I think is available here.
Ebis, which is a little bit more expensive.
And I love all of those. However, last night in the pub setting, we did have sake, which is something I want to learn a lot more about. We had a fruitier variety and a drier variety. And on the dry theme, I really like the dry.
Yeah.
I would say another just like a theme is that it's not just the end result, like the food or the drink, it's the process. It's every step of the way of how it is prepared and served and consumed, even down to what you're eating it off of or drinking it out of.
Yeah,
that feels perfectly in sync with what you're eating and drinking.
Right.
And in America, I feel like we're just like, here's a random glass, here's a random beverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Last two ね。
Last two questions.
います。
Here's the two.
もう一度来たいですか？次来たら何したいですか？
I mean, yes, I want to come again.
Yeah, that's simple.
And yes, I'm here for 2.5 weeks, and that's not remotely enough time. I mean, how long have you been here? Like 20
Yeah, 20 years, yeah.
Have you done everything you want to do?
We're just starting.
Scratching the surface of that. But I think one thing that I'm excited about is instead of being in a hotel, our next stop is an Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I would just like to do more of not feeling like my world is like a hotel.
Yeah,
My world
It's
is like living like people live.
じゃあ最後の質問です。Super simple.
super simple.
Well, it could be deceptively simple.
Could be deceptively simple.
日本のトイレってやっぱり性能がいいんですか？
I mean, I will say this. I have not learned to operate all the features of my toilet. Because American toilets have no features. They're
It's a
flush. That's changing a little bit
bit,
in
but-
America. The first thing I tried to figure out and failed was how do I turn the heat down on my toilet seat?
His toilet seat was too hot.
It was too hot.
I love
And
it.
I'm like, I don't know which control. And I eventually became convinced that you couldn't turn it down. I'm sure that's wrong.
No, you can. Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
And also that sometimes there's a control panel on the wall. Sometimes there's a control panel.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
the back.
That's true.
But what I'm saying is there's a control panel.
That's completely
There's no
foreign
control
to
panels
us.
for the toilet in America.
So my question, to go a little bit further than this, have you used the washlet feature?
So I have not yet, and we were talking about this. Right now,
really?
I have to.
I mean, this is.
Do I need to leave this room in shame now? Get in frame. All right.
Okay. はい。 ではですね、いっぱい質問ありがとうございます。
Yeah, thanks for answering all our questions or all their questions.
ではこんな感じでいろいろとご質問する方から Like、シェア、チャンネル登録お願いします。
お願いします。
では銀と
クリスト、リッチです。
バイバーイ。チュー
チェーズ。
乾杯。乾杯。
Bye. Okay, let's enjoy the rest of the lounge experience.
クリギンチャンネル